What's up, gamers, and welcome to a new episode of War of the Visions. That's right, we're finally going to do a tips video. So, what I'm going to do here is just kind of go over some basics. This isn't going to be anything mind blowing, this is more just something I want to cover a little bit because this is a game I am playing casually. So, I figured, why not give a few pieces of advice to help others. First thing I want to talk about is guilds in general. So, one thing I do want to mention is it's always good to be active. It's good to be helpful when you can. So some ways that you can be helpful is to go to the guild statues, and of course you can do your daily donations. You can do three at a time. And you can either use items within the game, you can use your gems, or you can use gold. And then that's pretty much it. So you do that every day. It always helps a little bit. And then another thing you should do too, and this is specifically for Guild War, is set up your offense and defensive teams. This is something that a lot of people didn't quite understand at first. So let me go ahead and let you guys know what this means. So first and foremost, when you go to the tab where it talks about the event, uh, you'll see on your left side, your guild members, and on the left side, you'll have the option to set up your own team. It'll be somewhere here on the left. So once you go to the left side, set up your team, then you're pretty much done with that. Then once you're done with that, because the left side is your offensive team, you go to the right side where it says defense member settings, and then you can set up your teams from here. So my team is already set up for now. I might make some adjustments here, but this is where you would actually, like, for example, the person on the second one, Kiaba, has not set up their defensive team because they have the generic character. So what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to tap on their character. Oops, I'm not adding them, but they'll basically want to pull it up, set up that team, and that'll be the team that'll be used when someone's attacking. They'll be attacking these groups. So it's very important that you set up your defensive team on the right and your offensive team on the left. And that's pretty much all you really got to do there. And then, of course, once the Guild War actually starts, you want to actually actively participate. I'll go back to that screen real quick. If you notice on the left side where the attacking teams are, you'll see where it says like your total attack and magic. And below that, you'll see a cross swords, and it says 2 of 2. That basically means you have two attacks. Now, if you attack twice, it'll say 0 of 2, so that means that you're done. And of course, anyone that looks at this can tell, okay, who's been attacking, who hasn't been attacking. Now, since this is, before the battle begins, it's going to show 2-2 for everyone. It's after the actual battle starts where you'll start seeing who's been participating and who has not. So that's something to keep track of as well. And that's basically the gist of it. Good to communicate with the guild members on chat. One more thing. Attend. On the bottom left button, always hit the attend button. You do that, you showed up for the day. And then, depending on how many people show up, depends on your reward. So if you go to reward details, it'll tell you what you get if at least, 10 or 20 people sign in. This is the rewards you get daily, so you always want to do this daily. Now, the more that your serpent stone statue is leveled, the more rewards you'll get just for tapping the attend button. That's literally the easiest thing that you can do to contribute to your guild. It doesn't cost you anything. You just simply hit the attend button and you're done. Back out and you're good. Oh, and also give out your gifts. I've already given out mine, but some of my guild members have went ahead and did that. So cool, I'll accept it. And that's pretty much it on the guild side. So good stuff. Now, this is going to be more of a public service announcement for pretty much any mobile RPG that you play, but especially tactics games. Because what I've learned, not just for myself, but for lots of others too, is that these kind of games can burn you out because you're doing so much every day that you just get sick of it. And there are ways to keep yourself from being burned out, and the most simple answer that I can give you is don't do everything. I know it sounds ridiculous to say that. It's like, well, isn't that common sense? But what you have to understand is when you're playing a game like this, the game will tell you, oh yeah, do this and do that. And if you want to get to all your dailies, you get this reward. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to do everything the game tells you to. I'll give you some suggestions, obviously, but you don't have to do every little thing in the game every day. It's just not worth it. Not worth getting yourself burned out, especially when you have other games to play. Uh, so, so obviously the Chocobo Expedition, you want to do that. So you set up whoever you want to get more levels, and of course, whenever you collect your items, you get your items, and then you're pretty much good to go. So we'll definitely want to do that, a couple times a day. And then on the summons, the only thing that I really recommend doing is any of the free summons that you get. They were doing a free 10x gacha for Final Fantasy Tactics, but that's no longer free. And you can also do the limited normal summon a few times a day. So that's the thing. And you also have the video summon. I don't really do that myself, but if that's something you want to do to get a freebie, that's fine. There are some people that think it's weird to do the whole video, like basically be advertised to. I get that if you're not into it. I'm right there with you, so it's cool. Also, in the shop, you can sometimes find freebies there as well. So if you want to, you know, well, first off, collect your money. But if you want to get, certain things, like I'm probably going to purchase the Ramza 10 times Shard so that I can level him up because he's the one that I'm focused on right now. I could do that. So 50k on the main character. There's usually a freebie somewhere. I just gotta remember where it is. I think if you have to go further down for it. Yeah, here you go. So 3 million download right now, you can get you a freebie. So there you get your freebie, and that's really the main thing you have to do there. And then, of course, with the duel, which is the arena basically, you get the option to basically attack other people, try to go up in ranking and get some rewards. I'm not really going to mess with that right now here. The far plane, this is going to be something that I'll give you some pointers on what you probably should do when you log in. For example, if you ever see JP reward quests, always do that. This is going to be your best way to get more job points. Like, there's nothing better than that. And little tip, if you have Ramza and you've learned and you maxed out JP up, instead of getting 500, you'll get 1,000 job points. So keep that in mind. That was the first thing I leveled up. Also, this little thing, anything that you can only do once a day is typically good to do, only because it gives you lots of cool random rewards. So that's something that you basically should do. Now, as far as the daily trainings, this is where it gets really tedious. Look at all this stuff here. I'm not expecting you guys to do all of these every day. My recommendation, maybe the pot chamber so you can, get your specials leveled up. And then, of course, if you're low on some guild, go ahead and get to the guild one. Experience, you're going to get plenty of freebies on experience. Plus, as you're playing the game, your people are going to gain levels. I personally wouldn't recommend it, but the game will tell you, as far as your dailies, that doing the experience chamber is something you should do. You don't have to do this, I'm promising you. If you really want to push getting your equipments good, you can do the ore chamber. And of course, if you want to enhance some of your vision cards, you can do some of those. And that's pretty much, the gist of what you absolutely have, should probably consider. The rest of this just depends, and I'll explain what that means. So, when it comes to all of the extra stuff you can do, my advice to not burn yourself out is just focus on your favorite unit. So right now, Ramza is the person that I'm working on because, he's the homie. He's right now my favorite character. And so I will actually go to, say, Awaken, for example. This is what I need to get him to the next Awakening. I'll tap the item, and then it'll tell me where I can go recommended. And I'll tap on that. It'll actually take me directly where I need to go, and then I can grind that area. And that's pretty much it. That's all you got to do. And then, of course, understand that the auto repeat function works if you've already cleared the dungeon. I obviously haven't attempted this dungeon yet, so that's why the auto repeat is currently off. But auto repeat is definitely a wonderful quality of life thing in this game, and I highly recommend using that if you want to multitask. So that's how you can more or less tell which of these dungeons you should do, is by whatever character you really want to make, the best. And then, of course, limit break as well. Sometimes there'll be a quest down here where it says no obtainable quest. Usually, right here, it'll actually tell you where you can go to get more shards. So I recommend doing that. But yeah, I would say focus on maybe one or two characters and let that determine where you should go for your daily stuff. Don't do every little thing because if you're the type of person that has to do every little thing, it will burn you out and you're not going to want to play the game. And that's not fun, right? Ideally, the purpose of playing the game is to have fun. So there you have it. So that more or less determines how you should consider playing the game without burning yourself out. And this goes for any mobile game, for as far as RPGs are concerned. Rather than trying to make everybody great, just focus on maybe one or two of your favorites and push them as well. Another thing I want to actually talk about too is units real quick. Now, and one of my guildmates actually made a good point earlier about this. Somebody was asking about a certain character and if it was worth, making them better. And one of my guildmates commented saying, basically you should push all of your ultra rares and make them as good as you can. Now, the person that came up with the good advice was the one that responded to that one, saying, you don't necessarily have to push all of your ultra rares because you have to understand that it takes a lot of resources to make your ultra rares actually legit. Sometimes it's actually good to focus on one of your mega rares because it doesn't take as many resources to make them better. So, for example, Gafgarian, also from Final Fantasy Tactics, it's easy to limit break him. I've already almost got him full. Like, I literally need about 53 more of his shard, which I could easily get by going to any of these quests, doing the auto repeats, and I could get this done today if I really wanted to. Like, they're literally letting you max them for free. Now, obviously, Awakening is going to take a bit longer, but that's okay. Honestly, I could probably do this pretty quickly too. The only thing I'm missing is just this lower tiered item, which is not really low tiered, but low in comparison to everything else here. So I could easily get him, to some max stats real quick. And it's good to do that with a Mega Rare only because when you have max on all of your stuff, your stats are better, your abilities are better. And then the only thing that I haven't done is I haven't used them much, so I don't have much JP for them. So that's my own fault. I was so focused on Ramza that I really just didn't pay attention to him. But I'm actually going to probably level him up more just because he's right now, as far as limit breaks and highest levels, he's the best I have, believe it or not. And if I actually took the time to push him, it could mean something. So don't be so focused on pushing ultra rares that you can't do anything with anybody else. Pick a mega rare or two that you like and push them because again, it's going to be a lot cheaper to max them out. And obviously, the smaller the rare, the less it's going to take to max them out. Now, I'm not telling you to grab a rare and push them. If you really want to, you can. If you're a free to play player, you're not really spending a lot of gems on that kind of stuff, or you just want to quickly get certain people max, yeah, use an art or an SR just to get them up there, especially if you like them for whatever reason. I mean, like I said, play the game, play it the way you want to play it. Don't let others dictate that. The only thing that I think that you should do is if you join a guild, you should be active, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, that's more or less just the game. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a few quick tips just to kind of get you going, hoping that you can enjoy the game, not burn yourself out, but just have fun. But until next time, you guys keep gaming. Take care, y'all. Later.